Hi, and welcome back to the garden. Today is Saturday, June 4th, and you know what that means. We're going to do a quick review of this garden, then we're going to go to you and see what's going on in your garden. Now, if you're new to this channel, you've stumbled onto a garden that started off with a person that didn't want to weed anymore. That was a couple years ago, and you know the trouble we were having in the world. I thought it might be a nice way on Saturdays if we all got together and gardened. Then I started asking for submissions to see what you were doing, so when we gardened together, we had some idea of what was going on. Now it's turned into our story, the story of a new way to garden. And this story includes you, and the ending has not been written. And every Saturday we go to you and we see what's going on in your garden. And I really appreciate the inspiration and the motivation. After all, it was you that got me out here with a broken leg to keep on going. And what I mean by a story, I don't know how this is even going to go. I was hoping these leeks would go to seed like this, but this morning when I came out here, they're already opened. So I invite you to come along with me to take a look at this garden, and we're going to go to you and see what's going on in your garden. Some of our succession planting lettuce, arugula is going to seed already, beets, another row of carrots, and then a couple weeks later, another row of beets over there. Has anybody ever said you can't have enough beets? Oh, I know. It's not a chemical. It's BT, Bacillus thuringiensis. It's organic worm control. The little white butterflies you see in the background from time to time, they're the ones that lay eggs on your brassicas, your cabbages, your broccoli, your cauliflower. Those little worms will just chew the heck out of it. Out of everything that's out there, this was one organic spray that I do endorse. I think we're about to get our first yellow zucchini. That's the first time we've ever had that. Well, let's go ahead and go to you and see what's going on in your garden. As expected, Scott's got the first lotus flower. But Scott started us on this lotus journey. He was one of the first to this community. And he was good enough to make lotus seeds available to the community last year. And several people took him up on the offer. And a few of our members have sent in a progress report. Walter looks like he's going to get the next flower off of his rhizomes. He is starting the seeds again. He did have kind of a disastrous first go at it. Arch lotus from the rhizomes is also looking really good. Valerie's seeds are growing great. My rhizomes are doing pretty good. I'm going to have to start my seeds again. I started them way too early and they didn't make the transition from indoors to outdoors. Scott, thank you for starting us on this journey. Bruce in Florida wanted to remind everybody, keep succession planting. He's planting in around his bok choy. His tomatoes have started bearing fruit. And his deep mulch has comprised a lot of the moringa trees that he cuts down every year and mulches in. As he says, free is free. You can't help but smile at Nora's wonderful weekly bouquet. Nora, your hanging containers are simply fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for giving us all motivation to just start growing. Aren't those incredible? You can be a part of this too. All you have to do is email me at waylonsmalley5@gmail.com. The address is in the description box below. It's a safe place to share what you're doing in your garden, and we welcome all newcomers. Well, let's go ahead and celebrate a few more. Let's welcome Roger and Loretta. Not only are they new to this community, this is their first attempt at gardening. This community has inspired them to start a container garden. They've got potatoes, tomatoes, and peppers. These look really good. Thank you and welcome to this community. We want to see how this progresses this summer. Let's also welcome a new member to this community, Rick. He takes care of 2 different gardens. One, he's responsible for 3 plots at his church's community food bank garden. And then just for fun, he's got this deep mulch trellis garden at the house. Rick, it looks like you've been doing this a while. Thank you for sharing and for helping the community. Jen has a week's worth of growth in her raised beds. What a difference a week makes. And there's some cherries coming on your tree. This is absolutely terrific. Thank you and keep us posted. Now these are truly inspiring. Please hit the like button and leave a comment down below and let everybody know how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their garden. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more. Jeremy, this is great. Your raised beds are going to produce a bounty this year. But it also reminds me to look out for worms. Thanks, Jeremy, for sharing. Sometimes critters do show up. Denise, it looks like you've doubled the size of your garden this year with all the new planters. Denise has also been using the Oklahoma air on her porch to dry various mints. She's been making tea. This is a great idea, Denise. Thank you. And what better way to end the evening than to get the rest of your planters in their final position? This is going to be awesome when it's all filled out. Thank you. Larry and Michelle's containers have been producing very well this spring in North Carolina. Thank you for the update. It looks like a bounty is yours this year. I know, it seems like just yesterday we set these trellises up. Now to wrap this is very simple. Just lift the leaf a little bit, gently, roll the string around, and it'll go right underneath that leaf. Come up to the next one, do the same thing. And if you do this every day a little at a time, take care of the whole thing. And this one's still pretty good. But go around one more leaf, and there you go. Take your suckers out as they come up. If you do it now, it's a lot easier than doing it later. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more. Art's deep mulch string trellis garden is looking good. He's impatiently waiting on his hot peppers, which are notoriously slow to grow. But his roses are putting on a really nice colored show for us. This is great, Art. Walter's experiment with his chayote, squash, and a tree seems to be working out well. You're going to need a ladder to harvest those, though, you know that. He wanted us to know his volunteer potatoes are doing really well. Walter, your garden is shaping up really well. His cucumbers are going to be climbing here just directly. Thank you. If this sunflower doesn't brighten our day, nothing will. Valerie's Texas garden is in full swing with the majority growing out of containers. This garden didn't just happen. There was a lot of thought and work over the winter. But you see what is possible. You are truly blessed. And so are the folks in this community along with me, just for having you along for the ride. Thank you for the inspiration and the ideas. Sure, now you make me want to just get up and plant. Thanks, Valerie. I know, you got me inspired to plant. Had a few more sweet potatoes, and I got a couple spots that need something. Marriage made in heaven. I think that's ready to go in. And I think that's gonna be a purple. This year I made a new rule at my house. Anytime you come to the garden, bring something that needs planted and get it put in the ground somewhere. This is so far from the way I grew up. You till, you made rows, you plant once, you weed, you harvest, and that's it. This deep mulch, there's never any tilling. We succession plant all year round. And in our zone, we've got at least 5 good months without frost. And what we found with the little planting and a little cold frame setup, you can keep the garden in our zone going all year round. You can do this too, or something pretty close to it. I do want to thank you for stopping by and helping celebrate what our friends and neighbors are doing in their gardens. I invite you to join us. We'd love to see what you're doing. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.